So I was thinking, this is called thoughts, right? We quite often not only get locked into the definition or the traditional definition of ourselves, the perception of ourselves, the translation of what others have put upon us, and we grab hold of that and we sink into it, and we don't allow ourselves or it to become something else, and we stagnate. We become complacent, we become stuck, we become just the very thing that we quite often say we don't want or refuse to be. Prime example, my youngest daughter made me this bracelet. It's rainbow. Now, for those of us that have a few years behind us, and by the way, this is Sweepy. Sweepy is my road dog, my best friend. Sweepy was given to me by my youngest daughter. And she always say, Dad, keep Sweepy with you wherever you go, when you drive, travel, whatever. So Sweepy's hanging out with me right now while we do the thoughts. For those of you that are wondering why I have a sheep sitting in my lap. Because this is my road dog, Sweepy. All right? Okay. This bracelet was made for me, not just given to me, made for me by my daughter, my youngest daughter. And you know, kids today, internet babies, they have new definitions for everything, new translations, new perceptions, new understandings, because everything to them is new. The first go round, it's new. Now for me, those of us that have a couple of years under our belt, we can take the rainbow back. And in probably more recent events, the rainbow represented others, LGBT, PQ, LMNOST. Yes, I'm being funny because I don't know all the letters and I don't know the order, and I am not adverse to any of them. That's their life. Live it, do what you do. Your norm is not mine. That's all I'll say. And don't try to make it mine. Much respect to everybody. And I accept the same. Being younger, you wouldn't have been able to give me a rainbow bracelet, rainbow shirt, rainbow sticker, rainbow socks, rainbow anything, because it represented what was not me. And that was the alternative representation. Because if we go even a little further back, you had the Reverend Dr. Jesse Jackson Jr., much respect, who started the Rainbow Coalition. And the Rainbow Coalition represented and others that were being shortchanged in the civil rights movement. And then somewhere down the line, the rainbow was adopted and retranslated. And if we go even further back to the Bible, the rainbow appeared after the massive flooding, where Noah built the ark and tried to get a bunch of us to come with him, and we said, man, you crazy, until he was floating and we were swimming, and then realized that dude had a point. Faith was on point. His God was on point. And we were just being haters. But back to the rainbow. The rainbow came out, and it was God's promise to us. is a representation of hope. The representation that the worst of it, whatever it was at that time, was over. And the rainbow since has also represented the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I've seen the end of a rainbow. It's a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, there's no pot of gold there. Yes, I did see the end of a rainbow. I was working in the Bahamas and saw where it came down into the water. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. But again, the representation of hope. So I said all that to say, I have not taken this off since that little girl made this for me. I wear it all day, all night, in the gym, out. I take my other wristbands and beads off, and yet I keep these on because they have a representation of hope to me. And it was given to me by one of the most beautiful things in this world. Our future represents hope. What we pass on to them represents hope. What we leave them with represents hope. And what they give to us represents hope. Get unstuck. Whatever you've been defined to be, whatever you've defined something as, that has been redefined or undefined or retranslated or whatever it has been, that has kept you in a certain place, that has kept you from being in a certain place or going to a certain place, that has kept you from having hope or realizing that it actually does represent hope. Change your perspective. There are things we can change, things we can't. And I ask God to help me to understand those things, separate them, and address them appropriately. Those I can change them for the better. Those I can't, acknowledge, accept, and adapt in as much of a possible way as possible, and for the rest of it, avoid. We're redefining everything. Ourselves daily. At least I am. Join me. Let's redefine this world. And for those of you that are hating, my daughters picked this shirt out for me. Have a beautiful day. Thoughts from the basement.